Hey everyone, and welcome back to another Tesla weekly video for today. I hope you're having a wonderful weekend so far. So this is a video in preparation a little bit for the upcoming earnings report and earnings call. Probably going to do a live stream again. If you don't know, they're going to report their quarterly figures on Wednesday, October 23rd after the market closes. Now, we're back. We'll be making videos each and every day. We're back, fully energized, went to the south of France. A lovely time there, did a little tennis camp. It's a bit tired right now, but we'll get through it. We're back right in time for the earnings season. Yes, I will still do a separate video about ASML and TSMC. Don't worry about that. So, Tesla stock. Tesla this year underperforming, and that's an understatement. It's down 11%, while the overall market is up, 18-20% or something like that. So yeah, not a great year for Tesla stock. That said, still has a market cap above $700 billion. And yes, you might say it's not a cheap stock to buy or own, has a forward PE of 81 times. Now we know that 2024 is not really a year where Tesla is growing much. Actually, sales is only expected to grow 3.4%, which means we're going to generate more than $100 billion in revenue for the first time. And EPS is expected to be 26% below last year's figure. But then in fiscal 2025 and fiscal 2026, everything is expected to go back into growth mode. Again, expected. Then it's up to the company, and of course, it's up to the public to start spending money on Tesla products. So, remains to be seen what happens with that. We'll talk about what was mentioned in the previous earnings call later in this video. Of course, we're going to start with the numbers out of China. Now, before we go into that, if you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe. If you have not, we really appreciate that. If you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment with the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. All right, for the last week, the Tesla registrations came in China, came in at 8,500. We can see it's been a, regular start of the quarter. I would say, as you can see right here, we are up 21.2% year over year if we compare the exact same period for the quarter. And year to date, now we're still at over 5.7% compared to the 2023 figures. As you know, previously we were down year to date because, slow start of the year, bad performance, not that many incentives. That switched right here. Plus, we also had that Model 3 refresh shut down last year. So yeah, this year you don't have that. But overall, for the whole Tesla business, not just in China, deliveries, production, don't expect it to be up this year, in my opinion, or at least not up by much. Then as for the model mix, Model Y, Model 3, majority were Model Ys, and then the rest a little bit here of Model 3. Now switching to Europe a little bit, and this is Europe, the countries included in these graphs here are the UK, Norway, Netherlands, Sweden, Denmark, Italy, Spain, Switzerland, Czech Republic, and Iceland. So of course not the whole of Europe. But for the numbers that we've got right now for Q4, we are up 108.1% quarter over quarter. Of course, it's just the start of the quarter, but at least now we're getting those numbers. Year over year, we're up 154.7%. And year to date for these countries alone, not including the other ones that are missing, year to date sales are up 14.4%. Now, of course, we know the big markets for Tesla, Germany, France, have not been doing well for them in 2024. Those are, of course, not included in here. Plenty of other countries are not included in those numbers either. But it's nice to see that in some markets in Europe, things are better than last year. Then if we look at Tesla's market share change from Q2 to Q3 for 2024, this is what we're getting here. Huge changes for Hong Kong, Norway, and Ireland. Hong Kong and Norway, it's up in Q3. Ireland is actually down by quite a lot, as you can see right here. Last thing here, a bit of speculation. So according to the news, what is the news? No clue. Giga Shanghai will start producing the closed loop of the new Model Y next week. Initial production won't be too much. Closed loop basically means small group, small amount of people will be allowed to work on this. No phones, no nothing will be allowed in those locations. Production will be extremely low. Test vehicles, seeing how things work out slowly but surely. But hey, are we surprised that this is happening? Not really. I mean, the Model Y still selling quite a lot, but yeah, it's due for a little refresh. Like I said previously, I think 2025, we're going to see, well, Model Y refresh, Cybertruck ramping up, and launch of newer models, more affordable models as well. So yeah, not surprised by this at all. And this, by the way, is just a concept made by Dominic Brinkman or something like that. This was a leaked picture from quite a while ago. Does it look like a Model Y? I don't know, to be honest. Now, as for the upcoming quarter, these are the estimates. EPS normalized 60 cents, GAAP 50 cents, and revenue coming in at $25.67 billion. As for EPS revisions, in the last 90 days, we've had 8 revisions on the upside and 14 on the downside. Now, looking at what analysts are expecting, let's say, for the coming years, you can see that, well, let's take up until 2028, we still have 9 analysts modeling up until there. You can see that after 2024, growth is expected to accelerate. So by 2028, Tesla is expected to generate around $187.8 billion. By 2033, only 3 analysts have those numbers here, project those numbers. That's more than $500 billion in revenue. If we then look at EPS for 2024, as we've seen before, is expected to be down year over year, but then in 2025, expected to reaccelerate. And as we've seen with plenty of other companies out there, bottom line is expected to grow faster than sales, than revenue. And this is the same with Tesla. By 2028, the EPS expected number is around $6.18 and still growing 24.3% year over year, meaning that's a forward PE of 35.73. By 2033, EPS is expected to be $18.51 and also still growing 21.5%, so still quite fast. But don't forget, these numbers will change over time. Now, as for the upcoming quarter, I think one of the most important numbers that many people are looking at or looking for is, well, the fact that this needs to bottom. This needs to stabilize and quickly. What is it? This is Tesla's automotive gross margin excluding regulatory credits. It's been coming down for quite a while. So let's see if 14.6% is the bottom or if we're going lower. Then, as to what was mentioned last quarter, these were the main points that were mentioned that I wrote down. And then let's see if we get an update in the upcoming earnings call. Of course, we already have the 1010 event. As for the Roadster, I mean, I don't know why people are focusing on, I mean, it's a beautiful car or expected to be a beautiful car, pretty cool, but it's very, very niche, won't really move the needle. So they say previously, engineering is mostly done, production starts next year. As for Robotaxi, we already know what's going to happen with that, but what was mentioned in the previous earnings call was that unsupervised FSD Robotaxi rides are likely by year end. Well, we know that's not going to happen. Definitely by next year. Well, that's still the plan. As for the battery production, 4680 battery cell production is ramping up with dry cathode process cells launching in Q4. They're currently building 1,400 Cybertrucks per week. Let's see if we get an updated number on that. Maybe some update on Dojo, marketing, Giga Mexico. They said previously factory expansion is on hold until after the Mexican election. As for FSD licensing, no announcement date confirmed for FSD licensing deals. It will only be significant if it involves millions of cars. FSD expansion, we know Europe and China, pending regulatory approval. Tesla Energy. Tesla will keep its energy software exclusive, leveraging data demand, scale, and existing lead. As for the IRA tax credit, was asked if, well, Trump gets elected, if that goes away, how will that impact the business, etc., etc. Will we get that same question again? Remains to be seen. But all in all, I think what most want to hear is, again, questions will be asked about upcoming models, if that's still on track. They will tell us, look, this is not a production or a product call or announcement or something like that. So they can't say much, but maybe they'll say, yes, it's still on track for the first half of 2025. And that might be good enough. Margins, let's see if those are bottoming out. Spending, AI, more information on 4680. Cybertruck ramping up production, what's the production rate there? All of those details will be, of course, extremely helpful. Hopefully they answer a lot of questions instead of just talking about what might happen in 20 years from now. I'm sure Elon will again talk about the AWS type of thing in your car, blah, blah, blah. But to be honest, doesn't really interest us that much right now. And so if we look at the graph right now, it does seem like $260 was a double top here. Then we went back down, but it's the second week in a row where we did bounce off the 200-day moving average, which is usually a good sign. Now again, with the earnings report coming up in the next couple of days, that's definitely going to make the stock move quite heavily up or down. We know there is some support at the 200-day moving average, and then there is still that downtrend line at around, well, that would be around $200 or so. RSI is pretty neutral as of right now. So overall, that's about it. What do I expect from the upcoming earnings report? To be honest, I really hope that margins have bottomed out. I really hope we do get some extra information on the earnings call and not just some usual stuff, some Elon Musk stuff about what might happen 5-10 years from now. No, it's an earnings call for Wall Street, so I would like to hear some details of what they see in the upcoming quarters, what they see exiting 2024, going into 2025. So overall, that's about it. Do share your expectations and thoughts down in the comment section below. Like, subscribe, do all of that. And I see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.